He tried first in 2011. I told him you will not go through, and he'll bear witness when he stood against Honorable Latif Sebagal. Then he came back and he asked me what happened. I told him, you're fit to be a councillor. Then he said in 2016, I'll vie to be a councillor. Now I'll follow you. I'll heed to your advice. Indeed, he heeded too. He went and contested and tried to seek the FDC party ticket to no avail. He came back to me and jokingly he said, I have no ticket. I told him it's not the ticket, it's the people. Go to the people. By then he wanted to get the symbol of the clock. He went there, it was not available. On the first nomination day, he came back and said, I don't have the clock. I told him, go and pick whatever symbol is there. He chose the table. Then he said, but I'm too short. People will think I'm a joker. I told him, use the table to your advantage. Fabricate a table, go to every trading center and stand on the table. And tell the people when things go wrong, I'll stand on this table and you'll see me as high as possible, passing on your message. Indeed, finally when, and on a lighter note, finally when everyone had realized that Ssegirinya was taking this vote, the FDC candidate moved around with the microphone saying, I'm Ssegirinya Muhammad, please vote for me. I'm the one with the symbol of the key. So Ssegirinya ran back to me and said, there is something wrong. This person is saying he's Ssegirinya Muhammad, but vote for the key. You know the symbol of the key. So I told him, get a microphone and go back with the table everywhere and tell them it's me, Ssegirinya Muhammad, the one on the table. Indeed, he did so, and he came out to be victor as an independent for the first time. Having arrived at KCC, one of the lightweight stories, he contested to be speaker of KCC. He contested with the Honorable Kawalia here. And Ssegirinya Muhammad got one vote, which was his vote. Then he said, this world is really very fun. Even the people that nominated me did not vote for me. But he said, it doesn't matter. History will record that a courageous gentleman called Ssegirinya once stood to be Speaker of KCCA and had 2 nominees, but only got 1 vote, which was he was sure was his own vote. So history must register now that there was a courageous man who took a step and never thought failure was the end of life. Failing at times is one style of training us to be better. Finally, I would like to thank his party for having come out boldly to grant him the ticket to run on as MP Kawempe North. He fairly deserved it. He went through a lot that we all knew, but let me talk about this, Right Honorable Speaker. The discretion of court in granting bail. I pray, and I would like to address this to all politicians. Please, let us not try to interfere with the works of courts of laws in using their discretionary principles in adjudication of court matters as regards matters of bail. Because bail is one of the rights, is one of the processes where people acquire a free and fair trial. And having this temporary freedom probably would have helped this gentleman go and try to seek medical attention. He would not have gotten lost. But finally, we have him here. And it's us to talk about it here and then and then and that. I think we can do better. I know there are those that do crime, and courts will pass judgment on that person that should not be in society, and that person that should be let to be out and, you know, carry on their court matters while having access to doing their work or being out, having temporary freedom. Therefore, finally, Right Honorable Speaker, from Allah we came, and from Allah we shall all return.
Thank you.
May Allah receive your soul and forgive you for whatsoever you did wrong, Honorable Ssegirinya, and grant you Jannat Firdaus. May peace be upon all of you.
Thank you, Allan. Honorable Allan.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I thank Parliament for according that gentleman right there this tribute. I stand here in seconding the motion on the floor of Parliament to pay tribute to Honorable Ssegirinya Muhammad. Madam Speaker, the gentleman who is standing there, who is lying there, was my friend, at least in his later days of life, because we spent 2 years almost under incarceration. We talked together for all those days. We talked about so many things with him. Before the incarceration, I had not spent 20 minutes with Honorable Ssegirinya, apart from this politics of ours of the opposition, of sharing dreams together, of leading this country, and we would talk about it on radios and in rallies, political rallies. But when I sat with him for 2 years, I realized something, that the people had another picture of Honorable Ssegirinya, yet he was another person. The Honorable was seen to be doing things crafted like comedy, but he was very serious in nature in doing his things. He was a very intelligent man who could tell you things and those things could happen. He was a genuine man who had that genuine love for every person. He said that he loves him. He was an ardent supporter of change for this nation, not because he disliked those who lead this country in person, but their policies, because he grew up as a poor man in a poor family. He hardly spent 2 or 3 years with his father, because his father died at a younger age and he was a soldier of this government. And that impacted so much on his brain, being fatherless and the father dying under unclear circumstances. He tried so much to come to Kampala through so many means, Madam Speaker, to fight for his dreams. But what disturbed him so much was about our incarceration, that after standing on the tables, after talking so much to see to it that he scores that goal he wanted so much, to be a member of Parliament in this country, there came uncertainties and the fate fell on us. He said, in his own words, that what would I want after being a member of Parliament? I am a poor man from a poor family. I'm going to earn close to 25 million, because for him he thought it was to be 25 million. I can now touch 5 million at once. Now what would I want next? But because I wanted to serve my people so well, there might be envy somewhere that I predict as a person. He was someone who would joke, Madam Speaker, as a person. He would crack jokes and we would laugh for almost 2 years. But again, I also put my voice on those members of Parliament who have mentioned it clear, and the public at large, that the right to a fair hearing entails a right to bail, because everyone is innocent until proven guilty. This man, after only 2 days, he started complaining of his chronic sickness that he had before incarceration. And he wanted to seek for medical attention in Germany, because he was coming from Germany for such and he had been prepared for another day for treatment by a specialist who was coming from India to China, to Germany, in some hospital. And that chance wasn't given to him because of denial of bail. Madam Speaker, I thank you for your support to this gentleman, especially during all those times we were under incarceration. But I again cry to this government that today Honorable Ssegirinya is lying there. Everyone knows that the government cannot go away from this because the Honorable, if he had got that medication earlier, even government wouldn't have spent 900 million. It would be him to facilitate his own medication, and he would be alive today. But because of that and such politics that we have in this country, that is why that gentleman is lying there. If you look at his children, they are too young to lose a father who was very courageous, who has gone through hell to have something on table for his children and the mother. Madam Speaker, it should come from all voices of courage, whatsoever the party you belong to call for better leadership of this country in a united way. Honorable Ssegirinya, we shared so much, we talked so much in person. I know that you went to God an unsatisfied man because it wasn't your time to go. But because of politics, you have gone. Rest in peace, Honorable Ssegirinya. Fight harder, Honorable.
Thank you. Eddie.
Right, Honorable Speaker and colleagues, thank you very much. Colleagues, what we forget is that in every situation and in humanity that ever happens, that you must learn a lesson, and that lesson must help you to live better. If we know that we should fear God, we should know what God wants, which is not easy. That's why we should always respect one another. Secondly, the second thing is that life. People who study about life. Everybody has his own line. So, as long as we know that there is God, and there is life, and there is also life after death, I believe that Honorable Ssegirinya, who is lying there, feared God, and as members of parliament and as government, we should know that what we are doing, does it please God? If we do things that don't please God, then we may not have space where we say that we shall be there and life will be better.
Thank you.
I thank you very much. May He always in peace.
Katesh.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. I stand here to support the motion to pay tribute to a colleague who has passed on. And I want to thank you, Right Honorable Speaker, for being our leader, because you have been there for the members of Parliament, both in hard and good times. You have not abandoned your members. I want to extend my condolences to the people of Kawempe, whom he has been leading, and to the parents and relatives. Death is non-partisan. We have lost a colleague, and I really thank members who have come to pay tribute, because it's all our journey, regardless of our disagreements on this earth. I did not know Honorable Ssegirinya so much. We just met in Parliament here. But the impact he made on the people of Kawempe, and all of us who followed the news yesterday, I think very few of us can summon the kind of attention that he received. In one way, I want to thank my friend, the Honorable Minister, Honorable Baram, for the statement you have made, because I think you acknowledge that there could have been some learning points for us that we should pick as the people of Uganda, so that we can live in harmony amidst our disagreements and be respectful to one another. I thank him for the work he did, and to the people of Kawempe, I think you will remember him for the good things he has done, and let us continue to be there for each other as members of parliament, because we represent the people of Uganda. May his soul rest in peace.
Thank you, Haji Idi. Haji Idi Baka. Then we have Honorable Mpoga, Hassan. The chairman, you'll speak later.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. And honorable colleagues, I join the rest in supporting the motion that pays
Let's have
tribute
2 minutes.
to our colleague, Honorable Ssegirinya. On behalf of the people of Bunya County South, behalf of the people of Soga, and on my own behalf, I rise to pay tribute to the distinguished servant of the people. But Honorable Speaker, personally, I did not spend a lot of time here with Honorable Ssegirinya. I surely don't have a lot of history and story to tell about Honorable Ssegirinya, but I have, just like any other Ugandan, been following Honorable Ssegirinya as a common man of the people, as a servant of the people, and as a councillor, just like the motion has stated, his service to his people. Right Honorable Speaker, being born is an opportunity, but death is a must. And every one of us here has to travel this journey, because death is a journey that has to be traveled by everyone. Now that Honorable Ssegirinya has traveled his journey, and today we are here paying tribute to what he did for his country. I want to say this on behalf of my people and to say, may his soul rest in eternal peace.
Thank you.
Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I rise to join you and the House and the country in paying tribute to a son of Uganda, the Honorable Ssegirinya, who passed on. Madam Speaker, I never got an opportunity to interact with the Honorable Ssegirinya, but I was a keen follower of all his works from around 2016, after he had become a councillor. I particularly remember all the instances whenever the Dr. Kizza Besigye would appear anywhere in the country, Honorable Ssegirinya would be right behind on any function, and that captured my attention, not because I'm a supporter of Besigye, but I wondered, a young man who was passionate about supporting his party, to the extent that whether the function was in Uganda or outside Uganda, Ssegirinya would be there. We miss a young man who was very vibrant, full of dreams. He had a passion for his people, a love for his people that is unmatched. And the people of Kawempe have lost an icon. It is so sad that he has passed on very young. He had big dreams. But I want to thank the Honorable Katuntu for putting it very correctly and rightly, that in this country, if you dream, you can reach your dream. And that was the Honorable Ssegirinya, who dreamt big, and he reached Parliament as he dreamed. It is so sad that we have lost him. Finally, Madam Speaker, I want to thank you for your dedication to this House and to your members. We are so grateful that we have you, and we thank you for affording an opportunity.
Switch on.